Hey guys, back at the office. It's been a few days since I was out steelhead fishing last, and the weather has improved since then. We've had a few sunny days. It's starting to finally feel a little bit springish, and hopefully with a week of sun, we're going to see some water warming, the bass moving up. In the meantime, I want to touch on something. I was challenged to do this by my buddy BassinBarbless. You should go check out his channel. I'll link it below. He's one of the best friends of my channel. He challenged me to do this video about some goals for my fishing for 2019. Now, for those of you who follow me on Instagram and have followed my channel, you know that the last couple of years I've done a goal sheet every month, and I've gone through and checked them off as I went. Haven't started doing that this year, but I still have some of the same goals. I'd love to cover them for you guys. Stick around. Well guys, I mentioned in the last couple of years I've been keeping some fishing goals and kind of updating them month by month. I've had these sheets that look like this ugly bright green paper, post them on my Instagram and keep updates, and there's various things on there. I'll throw a link below to my Instagram if you want to check those out. And so one of my main goals this past year was I had a list of baits that I hadn't caught fish on previously, hadn't caught bass on, and that I wanted to get fish on. And I had really good success with that this year. Of the like 8 or 9 baits I had on there, there was only one that I didn't catch a fish on, and it's one that I fish a decent amount but not enough, and one that I'm just desperate to get down this year. So my goal number one for 2019 is to get some bass on jigs. Just don't feel comfortable with them yet. I don't get bit on them. I will run down and throw a jig and not get bit, and then throw a Texas rig and get bit, and so I never quite go back to the jig. So there's a lot of situations where I should be throwing a jig and I'm throwing a stick bait or a Texas rig. So this year I'm gonna have whole days where I'm just gonna go out and jig fish. I'm determined to get on them. I'm determined to get on them in 3 or 4 seasons with a jig. So that's goal number one, just get on some jig fish. So goal number 2 is going to be similar, another one off here. So last year, my goal was to catch 250 bass, or 250 fish, period. I do multi-species fish, as you guys know. And I ended up last year with 335 total fish. I want to say 320 of those were bass or something like that. And so I'm going to challenge myself this year. This year I want to see myself catch 500 fish of any kind. I think that's pretty realistic, especially because I, again, plan to go back to the desert for a couple days and I rack up a couple hundred fish there alone. And I plan on fishing a little bit higher percentage areas, man. I just really fell in love with smallmouth fishing in the last couple years, and I definitely can get on much better numbers smallmouth fishing in the places that I catch them. So 500 fish, that's goal number 2. Goal number 3, of those 500 fish, I want to catch 100 largemouth bass. Now that seems like a weird percentage, but again, a bulk of my fish are smallmouth. Of those 335 fish last year, only 59 of them were largies. And again, my big fish for the year were all largies. My 6 1/4, my 5 3/4, my 5.15, whatever it was. I caught multiple 4-pounders. My goal is to focus a little bit more on getting those numbers of largies this year, finding groups of them and finding where they congregate. Goal number 4 is going to be similar to the last one. I mentioned that I catch a lot of smallmouth, but that my size was largely largemouth. I did catch my personal best smallmouth this year, 3 3/4. I'll throw a picture of that up or something like that. That was a great fish, a fun catch, and I caught 3 bass at 3 pounds or 3-ish and up in the same area over a couple weeks this fall. And so I'm pretty excited to get back out and try and catch some more bigger ones. And so my goal this year, goal number 4, a 4-pound smallmouth. I want to break my personal best, and I want to get over that 4-pound mark. Smallies don't get huge in Oregon like they do in the Great Lakes and stuff. I think our state record is a little over 7.5, but I think a 4-pounder with the Columbia and the Willamette here, pretty realistic for me, maybe even out at Hag, we'll see. And last but not least, my 5th goal of the year. So something that's been interesting me more as I get more and more into bass fishing and I get a little more comfortable and better, I spend more time on boats, is I wanted to get into some of the tournament scene. And so there's a few local clubs around here that are really good. Thanks to my buddy Dave, he recommended me join 503 Bassers, and so far I've really enjoyed all the people I've interacted with. Everybody's really friendly, really outreaching, really inclusive, and so this year I'm going to be co-angling, backboating for a handful of the tournaments. I'm hoping to make at least 6 or 7 tournaments. 5+ would be great. So that'll be my 5th goal of the year. Is I want to me and my boater, I would love to finish top 3 at one of these tournaments. I'm going to start fairly low. I hope I can contribute to that. I hope I can get on some fish with somebody and not embarrass myself. And I would love, while I'm out there fishing with folks and while they're letting me fish off the back of their boat and showing me stuff, I would love to get, like I said, a top 3 finish this year. That's my goal for my first year in the Bass Club. And before I sign out, I did, again, want to give a big shout out to all of you guys. I hit 200 subscribers recently. It happened pretty quick. I've made some pretty good traction thanks to my boat review video, my reel review video, some of my steelhead stuff. And it's been great fishing steelhead, but I'm going to get back to what I'm comfortable with, and that's bass. Real soon, we're mid-March now. That pre-spawn's going to be starting soon as the warmth comes in and this late winter goes out. But I want to give big thanks to everybody again. My goal for the end of 2019 is going to be to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. I think it's a pretty lofty goal, but I've seen multiple of my friends go from 200, 300 up to well over 1,000 in 8 or 9 months time recently. And so I'm hoping that I can make some great videos for you guys. I hope I can get some to really catch on like my boat video did, and then I can bring in some more people. And then beyond that, again, I hope to have a lot of fun. I hope to fish with a bunch of buddies. I hope to put out a ton of videos for you guys. I hope to meet some of you guys out on the water and fish with more of my friends. And I just hope we all have a really good year of fishing. So thanks again, everybody. Thanks all the new folks to the channel. Thanks to Bill, BassinBarbless. I think I'm supposed to challenge a couple people. I'll say Northwest Fishing, and the first subscriber to my channel, Who's Your Back OD. Very first one, Brandon. I first put out my first video, so thanks to him. I'll throw links to them below. Both great channels. Northwest Fishing just hit 1,000 subs, so good on him. And catch you guys next time. Catch you on the water. Thanks for coming along.